What's up, people? It's Tuesday again. Except it feels a little different around here. I don't know if you've noticed, maybe a little bit of an outfit thing going on here. Hi, and welcome to Fight Club. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Happy Tuesday. I have to say, Kendall's probably our smartest guest. He actually got the costume and then thought it was his neighbor's and totally ran with it. He was cheating.
Pretending he didn't get it, which was good.
Well, yeah. The real problem is we get like 8 million Amazon packages, and I think it came in Amazon, and just somebody else opened it, and I'm like, what the hell is this? Do you have something that you need to tell me?
So good.
Yeah. Now it all makes total sense.
Except that Tate's having a boy.
Yeah, it's okay. I guess it's Fight Club colors, so we'll go with it.
It is.
He can wear pink for today.
Perfect.
Welcome back to another episode of Fight Club for Business. We're the show for home service business owners looking to improve their marketing, finances, systems, and culture. We're a team of self-employed industry experts, and this week we get to be joined by Kendall Hines. Thank you so much for joining us, Kendall.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I feel honored in the Fight Club here.
You are, and a special costume episode on top of it. So
yeah.
Well, welcome. And do you mind just kind of giving our listeners a brief rundown of yourself, your business, and kind of your background so they can get to know you?
Yeah, so I have a really interesting career story, I guess. So I actually grew a lawn care franchise called Lawn Doctor. We owned a branch here in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Grew it to about 2,000 clients in 6 years. And during that time, I just realized that my customers wanted to order online and nothing existed. So I went out and didn't know anything about software and built a software company called LawnBot. Some people may have heard of it. It's called ServiceBot today. That company was acquired by Real Green Systems. 6 months later, that whole company was bought. Real Green and our company, our little startup, was bought by WorkWave. So that company is now today called ServiceBot, and they're bringing it into all home service verticals. So HVAC, pest, lawn. So think of online ordering for your home service business. And so that was that's been my last 7 or 8 years. And then now I got the software bug, and I just love it, and creating new products and helping business owners grow their business. So that's what led to Clicki. It was just always this idea of Google is just too expensive. Like, we were paying Google all this money for my wife's business, and I'm like, what if we just paid that money to our customers? What would happen? And now we're kind of like just going down that journey and that path, and it's been really exciting. It's growing fast, and we're on like chapter 1, but we're back to startup mode grind. It's fun. Maybe it's not fun. I mean, everybody knows how that goes, but it's a good time. So that's kind of a little bit of my background and history.
Awesome. I'm very excited to talk to you about Clicki. I was looking into a few things this morning, and it is definitely a completely different way to look at the affiliate marketing side of things. So I'm stoked to talk to you about that in the marketing segment today. But thank you for introducing yourself, and thank you for joining us. My name is Taylor Maroney. Given the pilgrim baby costumes that we're wearing today, we are celebrating. This is actually going to be my last show. So I am super excited to be with you guys, but my background is in marketing. So that's where I come from. That's what I do. I really enjoy helping business owners understand numbers behind marketing, how to make kind of better decisions based upon that. So excited to be here with you guys, and excited for this Fight Club episode.
Yes, very exciting. And I'm responsible for the ridiculous outfits. So I apologize in advance and publicly. And Kendall, I don't know how I feel about you just avoiding the package. And Martha coaching him to avoid the package. But we'll figure it out.
Got the insider information here. Yeah.
I hear that. I think we've done this at least 4 times. And of all 4 times, I don't think the guest has ever worn the surprise package that this company has. So you're in good company, at least. My name is Megan Likes. I am the founder of Bookkeeping Academy Online. My passion is educating and empowering small business owners to know their numbers so that they can live more financially rewarding lives. I also own a full service accounting firm called Likes Accounting Company. And I'm the CEO of a window cleaning, gutter cleaning company called Jeff Likes Clean Windows and Gutters based out of Northern California. And I too have recently caught the software bug, co-founder of a program called Service Ally, and also just founded a new software company called Titan Console that launched last month at Pantheon. So very excited to be with you all again this Tuesday on Fight Club. And Kendall, super excited to meet you and get to know you. It's going to be a great show.
Yeah.
Hey there, Kendall. I'm Michelle Myers, co-owner of Pink Collars, and we put fractional and remote CSRs in your office. So if you need admin, support, phones, email, all that good stuff, we take care of it remotely. And then my husband's in the trades and running a Wise Coatings franchise location in Northern Virginia. I am thrilled to have you here. I've dorked out about your website late into the night last night while thinking about this really fun costume. Yeah. Welcome to Fight Club.
I'm looking at all the dogs, and I know we all have dogs in the background when you squeak that. I'm like, oh boy. I'm Martha Woodward. I owned a maid service in a neighboring state for about 13 years. I co-founded quality-driven software, which is all about employee performance and client retention. And I just help people build happier workplaces. So thank you for joining, Kendall. I tell you, like several people, I talk to you about one thing and then I'm roping you into all different things. And Kendall, maybe Megan needs to be part of our SaaS mastermind that we're starting.
I think so. We actually just put up a Slack channel. I think it's going to be really cool just to have.
Oh, she loves Slack.
A peer group at your fingertips.
Yeah.
You can get Megan in that channel and active.
Good luck. Good luck.
But Tay has a big announcement before we get started.
Drew. And good morning to Drew. Good morning, dear friend. We so glad we had you on the show recently.
I got to brag on Drew for a second. He took his episode and used AI and broke it up into 26 clips of our faces, guys. And it took like 40 minutes, and he was very proud. Drew, I hope I'm not giving my secrets, but he called me like just buzzing with enthusiasm yesterday. And
that's awesome.
He's like, basically, I cut up your face 26 times in 40 minutes. Robot. Like, how am I supposed to feel about this? I'm not sure. But then I did that to Tom Howard last night. I was like, I cut up your face 26 times in 40 minutes this morning. So,
well, we do have an announcement, and it does kind of coincide with what I was mentioning before, with me kind of taking a step back. We all love each other, and we do this show together, and it's very hard for one of us not to be here. So unfortunately, this is going to be our last Fight Club ever. Period. End of story. So with that being said, we didn't want to tell you that ahead of time, Kendall. Surprise. You get to be our last
No, this is like
you're the last guest.
No pressure.
Oh, you know what?
Massive.
They're still talking about Titanic today, so it's like when the ship goes down, it lives in history. So hopefully, it's a good one.
Well, and Amanda Powell would give you a hard time for that, unfortunately. So I'm gonna strike the unfortunately from that and say one of us got knocked up. No, just kidding. I'm gonna say that it's been a great run, guys. It's been an amazing run. We're 3.5 years into this show.
3.5 years.
3.5 years.
Yeah, we decided it was time. With Tay going, and it was started to get everyone through the hell of COVID, and and then 3.5 years later, we're like, are we ever stopping this? So we thought it just seemed like a good time with Tay leaving us. So we'll blame it all on Tay.
Yeah.
157 episodes. That's
pretty impressive.
That's awesome.
Pretty impressive. Yeah.
But now
so now we're gonna be not. So it was a baby edition, but these are ridiculous. So
thank God.
Yeah, they are kind of crazy.
All right.
All right, Tay, start us off with marketing. We still have work to do.
We do have work to do. And I think Kendall's going to be the best last guest we ever had. So I'm super stoked to talk to him about this. And this concept, Kendall, of you looked at Google and you said, I don't want to pay them. Like, I love this. I love this concept of like, I don't want our money going to them. I would rather it go to our clients. So let's start with how you got to that idea initially with your wife's business.
Yeah, totally. So even at the lawn doctor business, when we were growing that first business, we didn't have money to go spend on direct mail. All my mentors in the space said, go take out a big loan and do direct mail, and go take out $100K and do direct mail, direct pricing letters right to their door, because it's like big in the lawn care space. And it's like, that just doesn't feel like a good, I don't know, maybe that's always been the way I think, but it just didn't feel like a good use of, that's not the future. Like, direct mail's been around for forever. And so I was like, okay, well, what else is out there? And I looked at Facebook ads, and I didn't have money to go hire somebody to do Facebook ads. So I learned how to run them myself. I learned about lookalike audiences and deploying these ads. And they're like, those platforms are kind of difficult, like, to learn. So I really just invested a lot of time into learning them. And we were generating leads on Facebook for $5, $6, $7 a lead using these lookalike audiences.
Awesome.
And, we were dominating in an area that everybody else in my local here in Grand Rapids just, they don't understand. They have to go hire a third-party company. And like, we were just able to move really fast and just get really low cost, as Gary Vee talks about, like very low cost attention on Facebook ads. So that's where I really like got started with it, with just deploying my own ads. And then with that, learning Google pay-per-click. So I've just always been, I guess, a practitioner of actually running these ads. And with that, with all these advertising platforms becoming more popular, right, the cost of that attention goes up. So now we're in a world where these leads used to cost me 7, 8, 9, 10. Now they're costing 40 a lead on Facebook, right? Or more, depending on the industry you're in. Same with the clicks. On Google, for my wife's business in beauty's med spa, they're paying $3, $4 a click, depending on the industry you're in. You might be closer to $10, $12, $13 a click. If you're doing LSA ads, you're like paying per lead, just some absurd amount. And so you're basically just you're competing with all your peers for the same space. So like, my mind, I'm like, I want the low cost option. Like, I want the next version. So I was just like, there's got to be a better way. My customers have friends and family, and there just wasn't a good way yet for our customers to talk about Masha Lash. The business is called Masha Lash. It's a lash and brow studio. We have 2 locations. There just wasn't a good way for them to talk about us and for us to pay them. So we just looked at the whole space, and we were like, referrals have been around forever. And it actually didn't start with just referrals. It started with clicks. It was just straight up pay per click. We're going to give a link to every one of our customers, and we'll pay you $1 for everybody that clicks on your link. Straight up, we'll Venmo you. Like, the first version was like me personally Venmoing these people. And like, they did it. Like, they took their links out in the world, and it was the first little version of Clicki of kind of what we have today. And the larger vision continues to reveal itself. But I just there's it and it just seems like a bad, like a better use of capital to give it to your customers and have them distribute the message than maybe giving it to Google. And what we're seeing is we're actually driving lower cost per leads than we're back to those Facebook days for driving $4, $5, $6 cost per leads for brands, not just in home services, but beauty med spa. Had a pizza joint sign up last night. So like, the long tail on this thing is massive. So I see us as like MailChimp for referrals, like this really helping SMBs pay their pay their customers to promote their brand online. So the platform really doesn't matter. Today, people share their links on like Facebook and TikTok and Instagram. They text it to friends, and they, show it. Like, there's a QR code they can show people in person. But the platforms change, as we know, and but one thing hasn't changed really is links. So the link is pretty agnostic. It doesn't matter where it's shared, but I guess that's a long-tailed answer to tell you, like, I've been doing this for a long time, spending my own hard-earned money on digital ads. And when you really break it down, you're like, why is Google and Facebook the gatekeepers to any business getting attention for their brand? And
like throwing us in the ring, like Roman style, like, right. We're just like competing against all of our friends, our colleagues, our business, associates, like you said, for the space and we're paying these enormous amount of money to go to compete in these arenas, in a sense, to not utilize, like we've talked about. I know Megan talks about it a lot. We all do, about not utilizing our customer base. And that's really what you guys are focused on. You've really just kind of like flipped the script and looked at it from how can we reward our customers, number one, for being loyal and wanting to talk about our brand. But number two, also give them a platform to easily do it. And that's the biggest thing. And it's funny because it's very similar. This model, this affiliate program that you guys are working with Clicki, is so similar to the, kind of affiliate Instagram influencer type marketing that everyone's been talking about, right? That's something that I've seen a lot of business owners in the small business world say, how can we utilize that? How can we utilize an influencer? How can we utilize someone in the social world that can speak about our brand? But they're always looking at it. Every time I've talked to someone, they're looking at it from a perspective of, I need the person with 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 followers. When realistically, you don't. You need the client who's willing to send the link to your friend, to their family member, to their Facebook page. And that's really where the ball's going to get rolling. It's interesting to look at it from the complete opposite perspective of the way most people have been looking at this affiliate kind of marketing idea within the social realm. So I absolutely love this. And like my brain is like, wee.
Yeah.
It's like going crazy.
Just imagine, well, here's my whiteboard behind me. This is my brain, okay? Like just going through.
Yeah, like I feel like I have like 1,000 things I want to talk about right now, but I only have like a limited amount of time.
It's like a very simple idea in like referral. Almost every local business has a referral program, but nobody has a referral system. It's like everybody's like, oh, I'll pay $25 both ways. And then it's like, what happens next? It's usually spreadsheets. It's usually like somebody sending Amazon gift cards, or like somebody in the office has to think about it. And we want to build a platform where you don't have to think about it. It just always runs in the background. It's always working on your behalf. And creating brand ambassadors for your company.
Exactly.
And with that, when we looked at this problem, nobody in the affiliate marketing space pays per click. It's like very unheard of, this model of pay per click. So just that is like an innovative part. If we just did that, like the pay per click and pay per referral. So there's two ways to earn on Clicki. You pay your customers per click. That creates quick wins. They post their link. They wake up tomorrow. They just made $5 overnight. They feel pretty good right now. Ooh. I just had success on your platform. Now, after they generate referrals, they get referral bonuses if that person becomes a paying customer. That's very common of like what most people have today. Is like, if you send me somebody that signs up, I'll give you $50 or whatever. Typically it's like an account credit at the store, but there's another innovative aspect to Clicki is we allow brands to pay their customers fully liquid. So your customers tap a button and they get a Venmo. And we think that makes people really happy.
I was looking at that. Like, you guys it's not just like bank account. Like, we're not just sending it to a bank account. We can send it to Venmo. We can send it to PayPal. We can send it to Amazon to do an Amazon gift card. Like, you're really putting this like completely in the client, like your clients, I should say, as the business owner's hands, to be able to kind of create their own roadmap in a sense. Like, you're not forcing their hand. You're not saying you have to do this. You're saying, here's the opportunity that's being presented to you. We want to thank you for being a loyal client. And if you do want to send this out, here's how you can make some extra cash. Like, who doesn't want to make extra cash in this economy? Like, everyone does. It's something and this is an easy way to do it. Like you said, they're sleeping overnight and $5 shows up. Like, hey, $5 is $5. That's Starbucks coffee nowadays. Good Lord.
Yeah,
Amazon is my love language.
and
When you start,
we just
Send Amazon gift cards, and I'm happy.
yeah, we just well, honestly, frankly, where that idea really came from was my time at these CRM companies that acquired us. I saw it firsthand that all these businesses, even with their referral programs and applying account credits, there was no truly automated way to have it done.
No.
And still, it made the AR messy. And for example, if I prepay for your service or like whatever, like what does $50 to your business actually get me? Like I want to be liquid. I want to go buy, to your point, Starbucks coffee. Maybe I'm an Amazon freak and I want an Amazon gift card and that's how I want my money. Well, I should be able to do one tap of a button and like get my money that way. So like that idea just in and of itself is pretty disruptive. So when you start with that and then you factor in the pay-per-click model. Well, you're like, well, I don't want to pay for clicks that aren't in if I'm a local business, I don't want to pay for clicks in China, or like if I'm in
Absolutely.
Grand Rapids, in my example, I don't want to pay for Detroit. So there's a whole set of technology around that, actually identifying unique humans. So if I'm on my phone and I click the link, then I go on my laptop and click that same link, we can identify you that you've already clicked on the link. That brand only pays for that person one time. So like, there's just there's just so much to it because we're talking about like human psychology, human behavior, and just diving into all of those parts. And like I said, we're on like chapter 1, so like the product 2 years from now will look completely different than the product we have today. I know that from my time at LawnBot, but it's just, as you guys know, building, get it in the market, iterate, get customer feedback, build something again, put it out there, get feedback, iterate. So that's kind of our battle cry right now, is just getting a product out there. I consider us like early access today. So we have our first version. It works. It's great. Validated the market. It helped me validate that multiple industries will buy this tool.
Absolutely.
And right now we're building self-serve. So any brand will be able to put in their website. We'll scrape your website, get your logo, brand colors, use AI, literally hand over your program to you on a platter. You add yourself as your first promoter, and you can see your promoter app and like really feel and touch it and see how it all works. And then if you like want to go live, you put in your credit card and sign up. So that's like, maybe that's like naive. Yeah, it probably won't be that simple, but like that is the North Star, because my last company, LawnBot, it was super heavy. You had to do a demo, get a contract. There's a setup fee, that's just super heavy. And like with this one, I really want it to be product led. Like MailChimp, you create a MailChimp account, go on there, build your emails, send them out. So we'll see if that works out, but like that's where we're headed with it. We're
right.
Like anybody can just literally build their program in 2 minutes and see how it works. And if you want to go live,
go live.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's awesome. It's really impressive to see just the first iteration, right? Like we're talking about, and we talked about a lot of finances towards the end here. So I know it's definitely time to kind of pass you off to Megan, but I want to just reiterate that this is a really interesting way for those listening to flip the script on referral marketing. You're giving them a platform, you're giving them a way to really be able to monitor and execute this program and give it to your clients and allow them the flexibility to really choose their own path, which is incredible in so many different ways. Like I said, we could continue probably talking about this for the whole show. But since we did talk a lot about finances, I want to kind of pass you off to Megan, so that way you guys can talk a little bit more of the number side of things.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you. I had a list of things I was going to offer to talk about,
but does always, yeah.
But I decided that I am not going to give you all the options. I was going to ask you, like, how did you know it was time to sell with LawnBot or with your first franchise?
Yeah.
Then I feel like a lot of business owners and then once you sell, like, what do you do next? I had that coaching conversation at least 3 times this week, and it's Tuesday. Then I was going to talk to you about tracking marketing spend, because I feel like that's something that's really hard for people. They don't really know their cost per click. If they think they do, they don't really know what it means. They don't know how it translates to like a customer acquisition cost, like this idea of like education around our spending. But I'm going to send you into the 4th option, because that's where I want to stay. I can think of a ton of use cases for this product in my existing business, in my window cleaning business. So I thought we could talk that out. Uh-oh, Martha is giving me a hand. I think I don't know.
No, I agree. I agree.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see if I'm stepping on her toes. But so I have started deputizing my technicians to help me be salespeople while they're already out in the field. So we have a window cleaning, gutter cleaning company, and we have now made it, a requirement that they do their 9 rounds in terms of door hangers and knocking on the door. And it has been way harder than you would think to get a technician to knock on a neighbor's door to say, "Hi, Mrs. Jones, we're next door cleaning Mrs. Smith's windows. And we just wanted to let you know that while we're in the neighborhood, we're offering free estimates. If you have anything that you'd like done around your house, we do window cleaning, gutter cleaning, solar panel cleaning, and Christmas lights." That's all I'm asking them to do. And they're terrified. They can't do it. So what if we could give them their own link, and I'm paying them per piece that they're delivering. I'm paying them per estimate that they're giving out, and I'm paying them a percentage of whatever they're able to sell out in the field. Because I've always said I'd rather give my money to my technicians than to Google. Excuse me. Sorry. So same idea, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, completely. So you'll love this. Like at the Masha Lash business, we encourage our team members to get links. So they all have their links. It's fully branded to the company. It's refer.mashalash/XJY, CJZ. I mean, that's the unique slug on their link. So the links are all fully branded, but what I find fascinating is they're changing their link in bio on their personal Instagram to their promoter link. So, and what they also do, what we found, and this is in the beauty space especially, it's like if anybody listening has ever delved in the salon spa space, it is so hard to get your employees to talk about your company, especially like a W-2 salon where like we're responsible for filling their books. So the fact that, and social media is everything in the beauty industry. It's like where you catch trends and see stuff. So it's like the volume that they post, and they actually dropped their referral link in the clickable link on stories, which is great. I don't really care. I'd to your point, much rather pay my employees. So that was a byproduct I didn't see coming when we first launched. Was like, Ashley has $250 in her account. I'm like, yeah, but she's generated 13 referrals and half of them turned into customers. Yep. Our average customer value in the lash business is like $1,000 a year. I mean, if they're a member. So like,
well, and I want to like pause you and have our listeners think for just a second. If you are complaining about reduced lead volumes, which I just said in conference, I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice, giant conference of 4,000 technicians or owners, and they were all saying, our lead volume's gone down. I'm like, the old way doesn't work anymore. I love this part of your story, Kendall, where you're like, the old way wasn't working for you. It was too expensive. So how do we make it work for us? And I like this idea of bringing alignment with my team and saying, I don't want you to sit back and have me fill your calendar anymore. Like, that's hard for me. So I want you to share in this a little bit, and I'm going to incentivize you, and I'm going to give you a percentage. I'm going to put it in your bank account. I'm going to let's get aligned here in filling our schedule together. So I love that. Second use case I thought of is we do a charity giveaway every year. And so we give away a free gutter cleaning or a free window cleaning to a nonprofit in need. And we kind of crowdsource it. So we have applications. People can they can recommend their church or their old folks home or their school or whatever it is. And then we use that competitiveness, and they send it out to their list. So what I'm picturing is, I remember one of the byproducts of this a couple of years ago was our local art center won a free gutter cleaning, and they had said that they'd emailed their 5,000 person list 3 times to get them to vote for them so that they could get the free gutter cleaning, which was great byproduct marketing for me, right? I got in front of 5,000 people I maybe wouldn't have gotten in front of. It was good alignment, good feel goods, good PR. But imagine if that link put money into the charity's bank account. What if you could deputize your community and your network and use it as a fundraising opportunity for charitable giving? So I think there's I know that everybody who has a software company hates when I'm like, look at this use case. And they're like, Megan, that's not what it's for. And I'm like, but I'm a hacker. Look at this use case. That would be really helpful.
No, we've gotten that feedback from other brands, have been early access with us. Matt Green with Greens
Yay. We love
actually
Matt.
brought it up.
We
Fundraising. He
love
said,
Matt.
he's like, dude, I want to talk to you about this fundraising idea I just had. And I'm sure that's exactly what he was talking about.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Using Clicki for. But yeah, I mean, you think of all these, you see it every fall when the kids go back to school of they're like doing their fundraisers for school. And it's like what if there's just so many, I think, cases to this to where, because what are we really doing? We're allowing brands to, number one, track and actually give us direct insight to each click.
Mhm.
And behind that click is a potential referral. Like if somebody's interested, because there's actually we actually own the landing pages too. So when people actually click on these links, they'll see like Kendall Hines loves Greens Lawn Care and you will too. Fill out this form for $10 off your first visit, or whatever kind of promo or offer you're running on these landing pages. We call it like a lead magnet, something to incentivize people to fill out that form as much as possible. Pipe in Google reviews to that landing pages. Like, yeah, I definitely think there's an opportunity there around fundraising.
Well, and I think you can see who your champions are. Right now, we don't have good visibility. Like I had no idea who the salespeople were on my team because they were technicians, right? I had no idea who the charities were in my community with the largest lists. Like I didn't have visibility into that data. So what you're offering is an opportunity to see like who are our raving fans. And then of course, as the owner, we have an obligation to make sure that we're generating a raving fan worthy service, but also kind of dialing in that client experience to make sure that there's something to rave about. And then understanding the importance of the copy on the landing page, of having those good reviews, of having like this, this viral worthy business idea. So I don't know, I'm very excited about it. My takeaways from the finance perspective were understand how much you're spending on marketing now, because otherwise it's going to feel like a cost. This is going to feel expensive to you. But if you can really understand, I feel like I talk every day with business owners. I'm like, they're like, how do you know how much to pay your technicians for what they upsell in the field? And I was like, well, I know how much I spend on marketing. So I'm just reallocating that budget to them. Like as opposed to being a cold stranger, I'm just going to give that percentage to my technicians. Yeah. So understanding what your percentages are, and then also understanding what is your customer acquisition cost right now. Where are you sitting? Are you pouring? I mean, I literally this morning saw a article that said our cost per click on Google just went up because they weren't meeting their metrics. So this is across the US, across industries, we are paying more to Google. And did you notice? Do you know as the owner? And I think as owners, we're responsible for understanding those metrics. And I like this culture of keeping it local, using it for good, and incentivizing our community and our teams. So great idea, great conversation. I'm going to pass you to Michelle, and she's going to talk to you about systems.
Hey there, Kendall. I am totally dorking out because I have a referral program for my admin company, but I don't have a referral program locked in for the home service business that my husband and I own. So tell me for that instance, because I think that a lot of our listeners are home service business owners. Tell us for that, where you recommend putting the link. Do you put it at the estimate part? Do you put it at that first outreach? Do you wait until they're an actual customer? Like where in the customer journey is the best time to introduce them to Clicki?
Yeah, great question. So typically what we do when we go into a brand, we launch into their existing base. So we send an email and an SMS out to all their previous customers.
Cool. Okay.
Depending on the business, every business is a little bit different. So like if you're a roofing company, we probably wouldn't go further back than like 6 months ago or even 12 months because maybe we would. I don't know. We really do it on a case-by-case basis, but especially in highly recurring businesses, typically we just blast out to all of their active customers. And we usually get about 20% opt-in today. And, obviously we're always trying to improve that and dig into like the metrics. But as you guys know, landing in the inbox these days or avoiding the A2P crap that's going on is always fun. So it's not fun, but it's challenging. So we recommend we launch into the business first. And the second thing we do is hook it up to your existing systems, okay. Michelle systems. Here we go. So what we do at Masha Lash, for example, is after a guest comes in, on every receipt that goes out, it says become an ambassador for our business, earn $1 a click and $30 a referral. Click here to sign up. Boom. So it's in their face there. It's on our main website that says join referral rewards. So what we've really found is it needs to be a key part of the customer journey every chance you get. And going back to Meg's point about your cost per acquisition, there's a reason why Tesla and Amex and Capital One and Chase all do these programs, because they know their cost to acquire a customer is like probably hundreds or thousands of dollars in those types of businesses. So if we can pay our customers a few $100 or like $500, that is a good use of capital. So that's why you see brands like that constantly peppering your inbox with like refer a friend and earn $500, because even if the blended cost on that acquisition is $1,000, like you get 500 or your friend gets 500. We only spent 1,000 to acquire it, but they have an idea of their numbers. Yeah. That's why you see it just so prevalent in those businesses. And we're bringing that power to smaller SMBs because they don't have $100K to go pay developers to go build out a program like this. But yeah, inserting it into every customer touch point is possible. So blasting to kick it off. Post service would be a great spot for it.
Okay.
If you're like a solar industry, after you just sold a $20,000 solar panel, would be a great opportunity when you're at the sit with the client to just sign them up right there for them. Yeah. So it really just depends on what your sales process looks like. Different industries kind of lend themselves to different methods, but I can't think of a better opportunity than you have them sitting at the kitchen table and you're like, you know what, let me get you signed up for our ambassador program. We're going to pay you $1 for every click and $50 a referral. Share it in your HOA on Facebook, friends and family. You know what? They actually get something too. They get $200 off when they use your link. So here's your link. I just text it to you now, and just feel free to share it everywhere. And yeah, it's kind of as much as possible.
Your hand.
Yeah. I know my head is like spinning.
I know, it's so good, isn't it?
So good. But like I'm thinking happiness calls, right? Like we've talked so much in the recent like months about happiness calls with service businesses and like with your admins, Michelle. Like that's where I go initially. Like if you're on a happiness call and like the person's happy, great. I want to get you more money. Yeah. Like I want to put money back in your pocket. Like, and this is how we're going to do it.
It's so good. So Kendall, speaking of money, Megs, you'll be very proud of this question. What is the average percentage that you pay for clicks and then pay for referrals based on your cost per ticket, right? Or your cost per lead? Is there a method there to finding that number? You said $1 for the lashes.
Yeah.
$2. How do you kind of quantify that percentage?
We're digging into that, like, and nerding out on the data and with self-serve, we're trying to, every owner has that question. I don't know what to set my budget at.
Sure.
So they're leaning on us as Clicki to look at everybody's data and bring it all together and say, okay, how many current customers do I have? And kind of this idea of like a sliding bar, kind of like when you're running Facebook ads and you're kind of inputting your budget and things like that. And we actually tell you what to charge. For example, we've had customers go live at 25 cents a click. And their programs just don't get the same play as somebody that goes live at $1 a click.
Sure.
And you're like, well, why is that? And you're like, well, inflation, just 25 cents isn't getting people out of bed in the morning anymore, I guess. I don't know. So we're like at that stage of learning what budgets are really hitting with people, what budgets aren't. So we're working on all that right now. But when we talk to a brand today, we ask them like, what do you pay Google per click today?
Yeah.
They tell us and we say, okay, well, let's start here is kind of what we recommend. Most of our businesses range from 50 cents to $1.50 today on the per click basis. So that's kind of what we recommend on the click. And then the referral bonus is really up to your average ticket value or average sale value. And that can be tough. So we've had feedback around, well, I'm a landscaper and I have $20,000 landscape jobs. And I also do recurring service. So my average ticket might be different depending on what they actually buy.
Sure.
So that digs into it. Well, now we need to understand it. We need to understand if we go down that path, like we need to understand what did that person end up buying? So that means we need to be looped in their CRM, which I don't really want to do that with a billion different CRMs. It just makes it super heavy. And
Yep.
but then you also want to keep it simple for the promoters. I think one thing that we're really nailing right now is I'm a big fan of like Elon's how he builds product. He uses the delete button. So if you've ever ridden in a Tesla or seen it, there's like no buttons on the windows and the locks and stuff, but you just press delete, 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 delete. And if you're not adding stuff back in because you over deleted, then you're not doing it correctly. So that's the way we approach product, is like on our sign up flow, there's 4 screens. Like we suck in your logo, we scrape your website. Like we're trying to do all of the work for you.
Sure.
Same thing on the promoter side. Like promoters have to love it or they're not going to be around for long. It's going to be like every other referral program that gets lackluster results. So it's just got to be simple. So there's this balance of it's got to be simple, yet it's got to be effective and drive them to actually want to participate. But really, ultimately, one of the big keys on everybody's like referral sign up page is like help our local business grow. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, that's really the people that we see get most active on the platform. The money is definitely an incentive. Some promoters say, I'm not going to cash out at all. I want you to like donate it. So we're looking into that option too, like donate to cause. Yeah. There's an API out there where you can send money to 2.5 million charities at the tap of a button. And so we're looking into that. Like you can see my brain is just like,
I can see it.
There's just a lot going on up there. But to your point, there's a balance there of driving people to take our desired actions. And that's actually like sharing their link and posting it.
Yeah. Love that. That was all huge. Thank you. I didn't mean to take you on such a big journey. One last question, then I'm going to pass you off to Martha. On the landing pages that you create for users, is there a way that the owner can embed a video, like an explanation, like, hey, this is why we do this. This is what this is for. Is there any messaging that maybe can be customized by the owner?
All of it can be customized. So it's all drag and drop. There's GPT built in. So you can do videos, custom code scripts, like Google reviews, Instagram feed.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So and the email communications too. So you think about, well, a big part of Clicki is keeping people engaged in the process. So that's pinging them when they get a bunch of clicks, or they just generated a referral, or a referral just converted to a paid referral. Yeah. Like letting people know about that via SMS and email. Kind of like when you get tagged in a photo on Facebook, you get a notification. So one thing that is pretty cool about Clicki is it's actually a progressive web app. So it's in the browser, but they can add it to their home screen, and Apple's been pretty bullish on these. When they do that, it allows us to send push notifications. Obviously, that's the last frontier of customer outreach. It's push notifications. So like the more people we can get to add that to it's an app on their phone at that point. Like they're one tap away. They don't have to log into anything. Like it's just there. So yes, you can customize it. And that's a huge part for us being self-serve. Like right now I'm building every landing page and like I am the bottleneck right now. Like I've got 5 companies to build out right now. And I'm like, we're striking this weird balance of like we're early access, so we're really not launched. I'm really not trying to promote too much, but definitely come on these things. And like, there's any early adopters out there that want to like get started early before we have the real thing, like the cool thing. We're looking to talk to those people today. So it's like this, as you all know, with running software companies, you're always like trying to validate the market, go ahead. And so you'll be able to customize everything.
Love it. Well, thank you so much. That was so helpful. I'm going to pass you off to Martha. I'm so grateful to meet you, and thank you for being
same here.
Yes.
I feel like you're going to have at least 4 subscriptions after this is over.
Possibly may have filled it out while someone else was talking.
I may or may not have the screen up on my computer.
Well, I'm going to Miami for a week, so like we'll sync up next week. I'm literally the guy that builds all these right now. So,
man, my head was spinning on, like,
I know
in quality driven, after they survey, depending on their response, you can send them to different landing pages. And I always like to keep it fresh, like December had a different landing page than January, etc. And I can absolutely see, putting the Clicki information as far as the landing page, but getting to my realm around people. So one of the things that I did, and this would make it so much easier, is I would try to figure out, like, where are my potential employees hearing about us? Like, where are they coming from? I mean, Indeed usually, but like, what churches? What, are there like common apartment complexes? All these things, thinking about where we should be advertising and trying to recruit. So we would go to, there were like some low income apartments, and we would deliver every month to, snacks to the people that worked there in the office. We did, and same for some churches and so forth. But I'm sitting here thinking, we could have gone to that person and go, hey, let me give you a link. And then anytime you hear somebody looking for a job, blah, 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 blah. But I can absolutely see using it for employee recruiting. Yeah, another idea.
Well, we have the You Are Awesome cards, right? And somebody just told me about having a custom. So I thought that, because I'm just thinking, how are we going to do this? Kendall, I think this is how we're going to do it. We do the custom links, and then we print out sticker rolls. Because like on my door hangers, I don't want to have a separate set of door hangers for every employee.
Yeah.
My turnover rate, Martha fixed it. It's not so bad. But when it was bad, that would have been like expensive. And same for my referral cards. I don't want a separate referral card for every employee. But if you did QR code links on sticker rolls, and then you gave, I could just picture this like ceremony, Martha, where we give them like a roll of stickers, and we're like, this is worth $5,000. Don't lose it. Right? Or I don't know, imaginary. Okay,
yeah. Yeah, I love it.
Storm.
They could have, they're going through the drive-through, they could have their QR code. Now I'm thinking recruiting, but man, and it could be part of who hire. It could be part of, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Martha, you nailed, like, you're bringing up a great example of why we're going the self-serve path. We want to build the tooling in like the product to allow local businesses to use it the way they want to. So there's this idea of campaigns that we are building out right now. Well, you might have a customer facing campaign, but then you might want to have a B2B, like your channel partners. So if you're a maid service, you might have buddies that own lawn care companies, pest control businesses in town, and you might want to give them, BNI, you might want to give them different economics. You might want to give them different landing pages as opposed to your customers. You could even have a third tier for a now hiring campaign, right? There might be exclusively people that you want out in the world sharing a link around hiring. And maybe those landing pages you'd want talking about how awesome your company is and like having employee testimonials. So that's why we have this idea of campaigns now in Clicki. Well, not now, but we're building it and making all of those, to your point, drag and droppable, customizable, so that you guys can use it how you see fit. And then we're like super obsessed with customer feedback. So as you guys get new ideas of how you want to use it, we're going to build it into the product and make it better. So that's exactly, I love it. Like, business owners are so creative, and especially small business owners, because we have to be like, I worked at a major corporation, 1,300 employees. Like, there's just a different level of care that you need to take when, like, at the end of the day, like, the buck stops with you, and we're either going to grow this business or we're not, and it's going to go by our decisions. And like we have to take full responsibility for every action in our companies. And that's a very unique place to be if you've never been there before. So yeah, but we get really creative. If we're spending our money, we're like, we're going to really make it go far. We're going to get the most bang for our buck. And that's why bigger companies would never think of an idea like Clicki. Because they don't have to. They're just going to go spend on Facebook and Google. They're just going to do that, and that's fine. And
it will be interesting to see the conversion rate on like clicking, a Google ad versus a Clicki link, because like you were saying, they're going to have this personalized landing page. And if I'm going to something and it says, it's Megan saying, I recommend them and this is why, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm going to convert 10 times better, at least probably, than I would with the company that I don't know anything about trying to sell me on the company. So, because we all know that referrals, they're already partly sold by the time they come to us. So I think it's awesome. And you had me thinking, so these ladies and the audience that listens regularly have heard me beat to death the pumpkin plan, and I'm all about points, whether it come to employees or clients. Like for me, it's all a give and take. And so, there's positive points, there's negative points, but I'm sitting there thinking in the employee points and in the client points, you could take this referral information and absolutely they would get points for any of these clicks, any of those, because that means they're sharing. And well, it's a good thing that we're meeting together in a couple.
It was like meant to be, right? So yeah,
that's right.
That's right. Funny how the world works. I think I commented on one of your Facebook posts, and you're like, "Oh, it like triggered something in the algorithm." Or we pulled
it did, and I reached out, and then I'm not leaving you alone. So there we go. I'm like Megan.
It's insane. Yeah. It's like insane how big like small yet big this industry is. That you like. Mm-hmm. I could be building this little lawn bot company and like never meet you, or any of you.
That's right. So that's right. And Megan, I know you and Dom get to pick speakers, but I'm thinking, man, what if they could build out their whole referral program? Anyway,
there's an idea.
Just an idea.
I'll be in touch, Kendall. Let's go to homework, though. Let's go to homework.
Let's go to homework and wrapping it up for one last time. That seems so weird.
I know. It feels weird. It feels weird to say that this is going to be the last piece of homework. You're going to be choosing. And we're going to stick to the same format. We do only ask you to choose one piece of homework. Kendall, you are more than welcome to give some homework at the end. We'll kind of go around in our order like we went with speaking with you. But for listeners, please only choose one. And we'd love to see the execution on this one. We'd love to see, tag us and stuff on Facebook or Instagram, or, send us a message letting us know how the homework went. It would just be nice to see the execution side of it, as well as you can throw it in the private group too, if you are in that group. But as far as marketing homework goes, I feel like this was like a giant, like mind mapping session of Clicki, like for all of us. It was really cool to like kind of pick your brain, Kendall, on each one of our areas and really get to see the ins and outs of this. And my brain is like spinning. But for marketing, I really have talked to a lot of people about this concept of influencer marketing, affiliate marketing, how that can be used in the small business world. And honestly, this is a very easy way to start to implement that into your business. So if you're looking to be an early adopter, I really just recommend checking out the link that we dropped in the comments. That's going to be my homework, because if it's something you've spoken about, if it's something you want in your business, you don't need the 10,000 follower in one individual person to be doing this for you. You have your client base, you have the people that know, like, and trust you already, and you can start utilizing that base through Clicki. And that's really what I feel personally has come from the marketing segment this week. So that's going to be your homework, is to, if you want to be an early adopter, you want to be a part of this, first integration of the software, definitely go ahead and check out joinclicki.com.
Love it. Love it. And I'm going to save Kendall a little bit of his legwork for new signups, and I'm going to ask you to do some math before you sign up for Join Clicki. So I'm going to ask you to figure out what your client acquisition costs are currently. And if that math's too hard, let's just start with, what percentage of your revenue are you spending on marketing? Like, those are really important numbers to have top of mind. And when you have those numbers, it makes something like Clicki a no-brainer, because we'd much rather give this money to our customers. We'd much rather give this money to our community. We'd much rather give this money to our employees than to some of those major players that we're currently giving our money to. So I find very often in my office, virtual office, this office, whatever this is, that people have no idea how much they're actually spending. So I'm going to challenge you to just educate yourself about your business and your spend this week and get to know those marketing numbers.
You're muted.
I think you might be muted, Michelle.
I'm sorry, forgive me. I'm going to have you guys check out Clicki as well for that difficult, maybe door hanger situation or door knocking situation for sales in your team. We do that at Wise Coatings. We send out our technicians to knock on all the doors around and talk. So if you check out Clicki, think of it as another way to empower your sales team, to entice your clients to come and do business with you and tell them exactly what's going on in your company. So I'm going to have the link for Clicki in Facebook group as well.
And my homework is going to be a little bit like Megan's. I can have you do some prep work for when Clicki's ready for you. Think about where you could be recruiting your employees from. So I'm not talking Indeed or Craigslist or wherever you advertise, but what communities? I thought about, like, where do my employees go during the day? And a lot of them still had to do their laundry at a laundromat. Hopefully now they don't, but so laundromats were good for me too. And again, it works well if you kind of court the people that work there, and that, when you come in and you're sharing the QR code or something with them, that you're bringing snacks or something. I mean, it sounds corny, but it works pretty well. Churches, think about where your employees are spending their time and where you could get ambassadors that are helping you get employees. So that's going to be your homework. And then when you join Clicki, then when they're ready, they're going to have a whole little part, and it can be inserted in any of your automation. Right, Kendall?
Yeah, it's a link.
The landing page can be customized for a recruiting page.
100%. Yep.
Yeah.
You'd have a now hiring campaign or a recruiting campaign. Yeah.
Woot Recruit or Who Hire or any of those could be having that Clicki link. So, but that's not the ambassadors. So anyway, all right.
Kendall, would you like to assign some homework?
Oh, I forgot about Kendall.
Yeah. I guess to piggyback on the point around just understanding, like, just knowing what your cost per acquisition is today, knowing your cost per lead. I think that's huge with something like this. I think one thing that we really talk to businesses about is I just don't think they truly understand their blended cost to acquire a customer or a lead. They just blindly pay a marketing company and their fees go up or whatever. And I'm big on that too. Like if you're going to hire a marketing company, like, really understand, like, how much commission are you paying on their pay-per-click spend? Like, there's a a lot of people don't understand that, like, there's an aspect around people that place your pay-per-click dollars actually get like a commission, right? And understand, and I'm not saying people shouldn't make money, but like just really understand like all of the costs that are associated with it. And I see a lot of owners, especially larger companies, that just have a blank check with their marketing business, and they're like, that's just a cost of doing business. And I think, I'm not saying stop doing that. I'm just saying, instead of paying Google 50,000, maybe you pay them 40,000 and you deploy 10,000 to paying your customers and see which one has a lower cost per acquisition. So that's like my pitch. Clicki's free. Like, just reallocate dollars to paying your customers. And we don't even know the long tail on retention yet. So I'm super like excited to dig into that data around retention. Like, does it help retention of customers too? So yeah, I guess that's it. Just know. You got to know.
Can I hijack us and do a bonus round of homework?
Go for
Sure.
it.
Ladies, as our last episode ever, can we go around and say our favorite episode? So if you are finding us for the first time and you do not want to filter through 157 episodes, Kendall, 157 of these,
Wow.
we're going to go around round robin and share our favorite one that we want you to check out. And since I'm putting you on the spot, I'll go first. I'm going to say Tom Howard's episode from, well, I don't know what number it was, but if you look up Tom Howard, he tells the story of a turnaround. So because I'm a numbers person, this story still inspires me to this day. It was several months ago. They took a negative $1 million a year EBITDA company to $6 million in EBITDA, which is bottom line, guys. And then they flipped it in less than 18 months. So if you find yourself fighting with profitability, I'm sticking to my theme of Meg Likes Money. If you find yourself fighting with profitability and you need like a pick yourself up inspiration for an hour, check out that Tom Howard podcast. You can change your story quickly and immediately and significantly. So that's my favorite episode, I think, today.
I'll go next because I know mine. I'm going to say Grit Leads to Greatness. The children's book was really inspiring to me. I love that we are reaching down into the younger folks in the generations to talk to them about home service businesses and how to be technicians and skilled trades. I thought that book was very impactful, and I'm excited to know Jenny and everybody over there that made that book come to out to the world. So I love that episode. That's my favorite.
Holy, I'm gonna have to say Drew's episode recently for me was really, it was just talking about marketing in such a more authentic format, right? We're talking about being humans again, and not kind of like we talked about today, not really. And that's Drew Larison's episode. Excuse me, I should use his full name. And that was about a couple weeks ago. But kind of how we're talking today, where it's like we want to go back to this grassroots concept of connecting with clients and using marketing as a positive tool and not just money being written out in a check. Like, we can really be able to authentically connect with our clients in ways that marketing companies are able to help us with. And kind of like Kendall said, like you can still use them. You can still work with a marketing company, but just know what they're doing, how they're developing the content, like what's going out and how you're authentically doing it, I think is really important. And that conversation was really a fun one for me, because I truly believe in authentic marketing makes the best marketing for small business.
And I'll say, it's kind of funny. We tend to stick in our lanes, but I'm going to say Lee Baker. And I think
that is my top shared episode. I've shared that episode more than any other episode.
Wow.
And that's from 2.5 years ago, guys.
I know. But I'll never forget, we started talking about people, and he started tearing up, and I'm trying not to tear up now. And
I definitely teared up.
And it was just such a neat thing to see someone who runs, he has, I don't think he calls them franchises, but licenses, anyway, all across the nation. And yet he really cares about his people. And I love that.
She is tearing up. Okay, Michelle, rein us in.
I gotta drop it. I gotta land the plane. So it's time. And the quote I thought was perfect for our last one. And it is, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others, by Gandhi. And this started out as some service. That's what we wanted to do, was to serve all of our listeners. And in that process, we lost ourselves, and we were so grateful that you spent the time with us to help us find each other in this moment. So it was a beautiful time. I'm grateful for the last 3.5 years.
Whoa.
Okay. Wait, Kendall, if they want to get a hold of you, how do they get a hold of you? Bring it back for the waterworks.
Lucky
Yeah.
Kendall.
Yep.
Yeah. I feel bad like pitching a product. Right? It's like very real at the moment. It's join Clicki.com. Join.Clicki.com.
There you go.
Let's do it. Thank you
I
all.
love that. And then Tay, as our parting comments, I made us all dress ridiculously. Good luck on the journey. So excited for you.
The mom journey is the best.
Mom.
Get your little house on the prairie thing on.
I think that's your bib.
We're so proud of you and Damien. Enjoy this next adventure, this next season of life, huh?
Yeah, we love you so much, and thank you all so much.
Thanks for being along for the ride.
Hey, keep fighting, everybody.
Fighting, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.